Hello, everybody. It's been a while, hasn't it? I've been busy. I've been dealing with things in my private life. I don't discuss that on here anymore. Now, I thought I'd bring some interesting information that perhaps the general community, or at least certain individuals, are unaware of. And no, I will not be opening this panel. I don't have time for that. And this is not the panel for which to have an open panel. But because of certain goings on at Linda Edmondson's channel with certain individuals, I thought I should make this one because a lot of newer guys are probably unaware of certain information. Now, when I met Paul Frutivore approximately in 2018, otherwise known as the Dude Saved Us, he claimed to be a Cook County Sheriff's deputy. Today, he's just a washed up hate preacher on YouTube that is now apparently going around channels to incite people to block people that he dislikes. Another individual of interest who is also participating in and was one of the original components of a hate campaign, a pedophile slander campaign that has now been waged against me and has been directed at others in a different campaign for over a decade and a half with his associates, is Rob Reed, the attorney at law. But what's interesting about this is that when you have a legal background, either you're a legal professional like a lawyer, or you're a former deputy, assuming, of course, Mr. Frutivore told the truth. He may have, he may not have. But when you legally advise someone, as he attempted to do to me or toward me in the past, and you represent yourself as a legal professional, then that means sentencing for any potential crimes you commit is enhanced because you ought to know better. You are supposed to be an example to the community. You are supposed to be a professional. That's what happens when you put on the badge or when you pass the bar exam and become an attorney. No, you don't have to be an automaton, but yes, you definitely have a code of ethics to which you must adhere, and the legal expectations out of you are higher. What's interesting is when you look at the subject of hate crimes, which very much are being committed here, and I'm very much documenting them on the Super Troll archive. I'll leave that in the description if I remember my archive and my shared archive. There was a case of an Orthodox Jewish man that was targeted because he was Jewish by a murderer. The murderer got 40 years from justice.gov. You know what's also interesting? There is a recent case I heard about from the state of Nevada where a Nevada attorney got involved with a gangbanger. I believe it was something like 18th Street Gang. They conspired to attempted murder. They got a hit called out against, I believe it was another attorney. The state bar for Nevada charged that person in part. Of course, they don't have to do the sentencing, but they disbarred that person. Well, actually, the Supreme Court later became involved and said, oh, no. You can't do that. That's a disgrace to the legal profession. This person participated in calling a hit out on somebody. They've been disbarred for life and are facing sentencing due to the attempted murder. When these people incite hatred against people, like they do with Veckel, where they make very racial comments because Veckel's black, or when they come after other people like Veckel, like myself, like others, even the news unit, Numismatic King, or William Freeman, based on their religiosity and, or in my case, a disability status, that's a hate crime. It's not a hate crime to disagree with someone. It's not a hate crime. Well, it's a bad idea. It could be a crime to hurl slurs at somebody, given the right context. That may not be a bad idea. That may not be a good idea, I mean to say. But when you specifically target someone on a religious basis, on a basis of their disability, on a basis of their ethnicity, being black, being Ethiopian, being, I don't know, from Tajikistan, whatever the case. That is what quantifies as a hate crime. And the sentencing for a hate crime, as I have already documented in the US, is very severe, ignoring state and local laws, which are usually pretty stiff in their own right. The federal laws, like I've documented, are even worse, up to a $250,000 fine, up to a decade imprisonment, and for violent offenses, life. You know what's also illegal? If you're someone who goes on the internet, say like a channel with 15,500 followers, which makes you a limited public figure in a lot of jurisdictions, and then you incite hatred toward other people, you tune people up, you aggravate them against individuals, myself, Bond, basement dweller, numismatic king, whatever, William Freeman. You encourage them that they get doxxed, or if they get doxxed or attempted doxing goes on at, say, that channel, you don't say anything. That gets really steep very quickly. That's a lot of crimes in a short space of order. So I put this out there because I don't think the general community is aware. What these guys are doing, as childish as it is, are actually very serious matters. If you see it, I'm going to leave my email. You can feel free to send that to me. And either I or the other component for the Super Troll archive will upload that. I've been documenting all of that at my channel. I've got something like 70 or 80 videos now. And my friend Dave Connell, too, on his archive from the 15 plus years of abuse he's endured, has in excess of about 400 videos as of yet that he and his people, whoever they are, I actually don't know, are documenting. If you observe this behavior, just know it's not just online trolling. I want it. Send it to me. That's the purpose of the Super Troll archive. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I would prefer to never have to record this content. I would prefer that I could go on about my life. But this is proven virtually impossible when you have a hate cult and its associated cult members, the other cults that are friends with these people, the Praise the I Am cult and their own people, constantly causing problems for different people. And it's not just me. They're causing problems for a number of different individuals. I could go on for days, honestly, with just Praise the I Am. And I won't be able to be here long enough to tell you the things that Bill Cuthbert, Bruce Brickner, Brian from Tennessee, what's his name, Brickner, and others have done for over a decade in all of their activity. By the way, could I also suggest to you that when you mock the legal system, when you mock at the idea of someone filing complaints, that does not help you. That actually helps the case against you. So I'm just throwing this information out there for the general consumption of the community, especially since I'm noticing this cult is doing as it does. They can't get much out of me. They can't get much out of Dave. They can't go after us. So what they're instead doing is starting to go after other people. Oh, and by the way, if they have incited violence against you or incited others, when they're going on a channel and encouraging people to come after you, or they start saying things that make people get upset or and make them want to come after you, that's an incitement. If you see it, send it over. But y'all have a lovely day.